Hey, I'm Brennan, joined here by my buddy Pat, and today we are checking out the REV'IT Montana H2O jacket coming in at $400. This is an urban style jacket geared towards the cooler weather riding season. This is certainly something that can get you into some inclement weather because you do have a laminated waterproof exterior with this particular jacket, and you've also got a removable thermal on the inside. Before we get going, let's talk about the overall fit. So Pat here is about 220 pounds, 6 feet tall with a 44-inch chest. He's currently wearing the size large, and this is fitting him absolutely spot on. It was honestly like they made it right off his own body right there because it's just perfect, and he looks so adorable in this jacket. So I would certainly say get your measurements, reference that sizing chart. I would certainly say this is fitting true to what that sizing chart is going to recommend for you. And at 400 buckaroos, of course, this is going to ship to you for free. We do have a price match policy in place that's there to ensure you're getting the best deal around. So starting up top, so we've got a nice tall collar here just to help, keep out that cold weather and inclement weather and conditions. And you're going to find on the inside the thermal is a little bit thicker in that area as well, and I think that just helps insulate it a little bit more and just helps prevent cold air from getting in there. When it's cold outside and anything's getting into the jacket, you're going to notice it right away. So I like that they went with a little bit thicker material in that particular area. I think it's going to work out well. You've got a hoodie up top, of course, giving that kind of urban style to it. You can pull it in, you can cinch it down so it just kind of stays nice and snug if you're riding at highway speeds, but it zips off as well, so it's very easy to remove if you need to do so. And the exterior here, I mentioned that it is waterproof. This is going to be a 2-layer laminated Hydrotex waterproof layer there. I like that it's built into the outside of the jacket, so water's just going to bead right off. Not the biggest fan of a Z-liner personally, so at this price point, I'm not surprised that they have the laminated exterior, but I certainly prefer that type of setup. I think it works much better than the Z-liners from my experience. Right here at the shoulder, you're looking at some Armour right here. This is CE Level 1 C-Smart Armour. It moves very well with the body. You're getting that at the shoulder. You're also going to get that at the elbow as well. That's what it looks like. Very breathable, moves well. It's going to give you that extra level of impact protection. The jacket as a whole is CE Single A rated. For those of you who want to know that information, that's becoming more and more prevalent within the industry with the CE AA, AAAs. This is going to be the Single A rating when it comes to the abrasion resistance and the protection that it is actually providing. The main construction here, it's a PWR poly main construction for the whole jacket here, but you've got the Armour at the shoulder, then you've got the Armour at the elbow, and as we swing down, not a whole lot to talk about with the sleeve here. You do have just a simple Velcro tab right here at the wrist as the main entry, very straightforward. Now when we swing over to the front of the jacket right here at the chest, you do have this chest pocket that is waterproof, so you can store stuff in there. I would note though, if you're storing stuff that's important, like your wallet or things you don't want to get wet, there's really no reason to store it on the outside. I would move that stuff to the inside just to be safe. It is a waterproof pocket, but from my experience, if you're in a torrential downpour, sometimes maybe you don't zip that pocket all the way or something, so better to be safe than sorry for sure. But swinging down to the sides, 2 hand warmer pockets on both sides. Those are also going to be waterproof as well, so you've got that. Pat, go ahead and face the riding position for me, sir. Take a quick look here on the side. One thing I would love to see because of this material, it's that textile material, maybe some relief stitching or some type of stretch or something just incorporated here that's going to give us a little bit more mobility, especially for those of you out there on those more aggressive bikes. I think Pat has plenty of range of motion, but if he's on something like an R6, it might start feeling a little bit restrictive for him because this is a nice, perfect form-fitting jacket for him. And then on the sides, you can see it's very straightforward, but as we get to the bottom of the waistline, you're gonna see you have that little pull tab right there, so you can pull that, cinch it down, very common in kind of like snowboard urban style jackets like this. Pat, go and face it back for me, sir. I mentioned that the hoodie is removable. If I lift this up, thank you, Pat, sorry about that. You can see that there's a little bit of reflectivity underneath that, and then that zipper is right underneath this. So when you unzip that, you have that little flap there so you can kind of cover it to make it look a little bit more finished. You can see that reflectivity working its way down the center of the jacket as well. No back protectors included. However, there's a pocket, of course, on the inside so you can throw in a back protector. Make sure you're checking out REV'IT sizing chart, depending on what size of model jacket and things like that. They'll have different options for you depending on the jacket you're picking up. Slight drop seat right here at the tail, nothing overly aggressive, but a little bit of additional coverage there. Pat, go and face the front for me, sir. Let's take a quick look here. And as you can see, very easy to open even with one hand. You've got that rain guard right there. And then on the inside, this is that thermal liner that I was mentioning to you before. You can see it's a little bit thinner right here, and then it gets pretty stout, nice and thick up top. And unfortunately, at 400 bucks, I really expected this to be more of a destination removable thermal. It'd be nice when you get to a restaurant or wherever you're going when you're running errands to be able to remove the exterior jacket and just have your little thermal here to wear, but it's not really a destination thermal. So that'd be something I'd like to see on the next iteration of this, especially at this particular price point. But you've got some additional storage underneath that thermal as well if you need it. And you can see over there on the other side, you do have some additional storage over there as well. Belt loops, no connection zipper or anything like that at 400 bucks. Probably would have been nice to have that incorporated here. This is definitely a bit more on the casual side of the spectrum, but at this particular price point, I'd probably expect to see, some type of connection zipper in place. But I'm glad that we've got belt loops in general just to help, eliminate any gap between your riding pants and your jacket itself. Pat, you can go ahead and zip that up for me, sir. I really like this jacket. I like the overall styling. They got a few different color options, but at 400 bucks, I'd really like that removable thermal to be a destination liner. And maybe this is a bit much for you, but you like this overall style. You could step it down to something that's about 350 bucks, the Parabolica within the line, but you are gonna lose the waterproof capability, but that one's gonna save you about $50 more. So it just depends on what you're looking for. They have a few options within REV'IT's line. If you're looking for more details, click that info button. That's gonna take you over to the product page where you can take a closer look at this jacket on the site and check out some alternative color options. And as always, if you have any additional questions for us, don't hesitate to reach out to our customer service team. They're all riders, more than happy to get you pointed in the right direction. Again, thanks for hanging out with Pat and I and taking a closer look at the REV'IT Montana H2O jacket. I'm Brandon. Keep it pinned.